So the reason why you're gonna see my net worth on the screen when I do these videos is because this is gonna be channel is gonna be about investments, and I'm gonna talk more about investments as time passes. And I want to be 100% transparent, so you can see when my portfolio goes down, when it goes up. I'm not selling any courses. This is free information. The main reason why the portfolio is down at the moment is because I'm actually, well, number one, the market is down maybe by 1% compared to where I was in previous weeks. Sorry, in the last week when I did the previous videos. And number two, I'm actually in Jamaica right now, enjoying myself. So I'm spending a little bit of money there. Please like and share and subscribe so this information can reach other people. All right, so continuing my journey. I went on to December of 2019. I needed to start earning that money because you remember from the previous video that I told you that we had enough money for the first 3 semesters, but we needed enough money for that fourth semester, which was going to be around $8,000. So I needed to start figuring out a way to earn money above and beyond the just paying my bills. And even though I was earning $1,000, paying $500 for my earning $1,000 per month, paying $500 for my rent, and I only had $500 left to pay for food, I was actually still saving some money. I was saving maybe $100 or $200 per month. But of course, that's not enough. If you save, if you have 14 to 15 months to get to $8,000, $100 or $200 per month was not going to get you there. But it would help. It would probably give you another $1,500 to $200. But I did have in mind that I was going to take full advantage of the summer. I was planning to work like 3 jobs in the summer of 2020. So I had big plans. But still, I'm not the kind of person to rest on my laurels. I worked hard to ensure that I had enough money, because this whole thing would be futile if I ended up not finishing the diploma, the 2-year diploma. So I had to ensure that I get the money. So a bit of overkill was required, because my family is on the line. If I fail, I'm going to be letting my family down. So, December of 2019, I got a job at Walmart. I did the 2 jobs for a few weeks, and the burrito place was stressful, so I thought, let me get something else that I can transition away from the burrito place and earn maybe a little bit more or the same. The Walmart job was the same minimum wage, and man, it was boring. I was standing in self-checkout and it was a boring job. So after school reopened in January, I ended up leaving the Walmart job because it was just so boring. And even though the burrito job was way more stressful, the time passed faster. And people who do horrible jobs know that when the time goes quicker, even though the job is stressful, it's a bit more tolerable. So I did that instead. So yeah. Sorry, so every once in a while you're gonna hear that sound. That's because I'm waiting for another Uber order. I'm actually doing Uber while I'm talking to you. And a part of this journey as well, I'm gonna tell you how much money I earned from Uber. But I just kind of want to finish telling you about how I started and how I got to where I am today. But yeah. So, and I promise you, this is not just a story time. Valuable information will be shared about investing and other things in life. All right, moving on now to my second semester. So while I was doing this, I was actually doing very well in school because working 20 hours per week is not a lot. So I have a lot of time left to study. And I didn't want to break the rules and lose out on my opportunity. As I mentioned to you, I don't want to let my kids down. So imagine I start working 40 hours per week, they find out, I get sent back to Jamaica. And the whole exercise would be futile. So I decided it wasn't worth the risk. So I didn't break the rules. Second semester, as you probably remember from 2020, a big thing happened. My wife actually arrived in Canada in the middle of January. We started to hear about the COVID-19 pandemic in late January. So my wife came in a little bit before the pandemic became a really big issue. Oh my gosh. When I think about the fact that I was going to delay coming to Canada for another year, and my wife said, no, do it immediately. That shows you that how life works out, right? If I just waited a few months or waited a year, my life would be way different than it is today. But my wife arrived and she got a job pretty much immediately. She got 2 jobs, but she did one crappy job. Then she transitioned to a better job. And she was earning enough money to take care of the family back in Jamaica. And things of that nature. Take care of the kids. When the pandemic hit, actually enough money to start paying for a tutor. One of the reasons why we're here is that my son, at that time he was around 6 years old, he's 10 years old now, he's actually autistic. So we came to Canada because my son is, one of the reasons we came here is because the dealing with autistic kids and people, there are better things here for people in that situation. So that's how we one of the reasons we ended up in Canada. But so she was earning enough money at the time to do that, and of course the third semester was her responsibility, really. So and she did already almost have enough money for that. So we were doing okay. We were chugging along. We were doing okay, money wise. So yeah, the second semester finished quite smoothly. I continued the burrito job. We finished off. I had after paying for the second semester, I had probably about $2,000-3,000 in the bank. So I was on my way for paying for the fourth semester, which I needed to get to around $8,000. And my wife had already had enough money for the third semester. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if anything notable occurred in that second semester. Nothing big. My wife did one job, crappy job first. She transitioned to a better job. She was earning probably around $40,000 per year. She was working full time. Oh, I guess we should talk about our living arrangement. So I moved from that nice lady that I was living with for the first semester, because we wanted something where we had a bit more privacy, but we didn't think we have enough money for an apartment. An apartment in London at the time would have running about $1,000 per month. So I eventually found a room in a basement where we had a bit more privacy, but we were still sharing kitchen and bathroom. But But the important thing when when money is tight and you're working for a goal and you're very motivated is that you need to be willing to sacrifice. And we lived in a room. It was in the basement. It was a bit more private down there in the basement. And my wife saw snow for the first time. It was a journey. Oh, sorry. A few notable things about that second semester. Sorry, guys. Alright, sorry, guys. I just got an order to go pick up, so the audio is not going to be so great. But there's not much more left in this video. So I just want to finish off with the second semester. I'm going to make this 4 parts. This is the second part, and the third and fourth. I'll make it 3 parts because the final year was. I don't think anything really big happened that I need to split that into 2 videos. The final year had one big thing, so we'll get to that part in the third part in this series. But second semester, I should mention that after spending 3 months with her daughter, my wife had to make the painful decision to leave our daughter, 3 months old, in Jamaica. And I should tell you as well, my wife, because we were living so cheaply and so frugally, even though $40,000 is not a lot of money in Canada per year, it was still enough money for her to hire a babysitter to help out the mother-in-law. And in the pandemic, have enough money to hire a tutor for my autistic son, while he could not go to school physically. And then I won't stop it at the second semester. I'll also talk about what happened in summer during the pandemic. So in the summer in the pandemic, I got a job with the same company that my wife was working for. But at the time, it was like 3 months of training. And the reason why I had to wait for summer to get the job is because whenever you're doing training at that company, you have to be able to do it full time. So I was able to work full time in training, and of course I was earning my same good salary, which was not bad. So from that job I was probably earning around $2,200 per month now, and I was stocking up the paper. I was still working at the burrito place, and yeah, so I was knocking out, and I went with more hours at the burrito place now that I was on holiday between April to September. Yeah, and throughout the summer I earned enough money to pay for my final semester, and as you know, my wife took care of the third semester, so we were good to go financially by that summer, because that summer was also longer, which was a good thing, because of the pandemic. Instead of a 4-month holiday, it turned out to be a 5-month holiday, so that was good. So I earned enough money to pay for that final semester there. Yeah, so that's how my first year in Canada ended. We did enough to earn my entire tuition. Kids were in Jamaica. Things were going okay. So this is not my journey in Canada, I have to admit. I wish I could tell you it was horrible, but maybe for some people it would be horrible, but for us, we didn't find it to be that bad. Yeah, so I'll end this video here at September of 2020. That's where we were at that point.